miles west of Fairview, like we've been talking about. So again, the circulation is near County Road East 480, County Road North 2430. So if you live in this area, please stay sheltered until further notice. The rotation is coming towards East County Road 480 and North 2470. Fairview is right here behind me. So if you live in Fairview, please make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. The storm is also capable of producing some huge hail, possibly up to baseballs. Flash flooding is a concern, but the immediate concern and the immediate threat right now is a tornado. And again, just a few miles south of Cheyenne Valley, a mile or so north of Cedar Springs, we got 1 to 1.5 inch hailstones, possibly up to golf balls on the north side coming into Cheyenne Valley, coming into Orienta. There's Cleo Springs. There's Josh. Somebody please get Josh on the phone for me.
Jeff, I'm here.
Hey, Josh. I see you're heading south, diving towards that circulation. What have you seen so far?
Right now, I'm actually east to find a south road to go to because I'd had to drive through the storm to get to the rotation. In about 2 miles, I'll be able to give you a better perspective on what I can see.
Okay, perfect, Josh. I'll let you focus on that, and please be careful. So, circulation is a rotating wall cloud for right now, and as we know, rotating wall cloud can produce a tornado in the matter of seconds. So, West Fairview, make sure you're taking your precautions right now, and then go ahead and put a track on that for us, Ross. There you go. And looks like that circulation is moving towards Orienta, coming towards Cleo Springs. And Cleo Springs, you have 19 minutes. And the same thing for you in Fairview. So north and northwest Fairview, you have about 10 or 12 minutes to take your tornado precautions and get to your safe spot. Okay, circulation right here. What's the shear rate looking like now, Ross? Anything different? Not really. Okay, so rotation is staying about the same. It's weak to moderate, but it is significant. And there's Josh Lasseter right here. He's going to keep on tracking this. So, again, circulation, rotating wall cloud near Highway 412 and near County Road East 480, 490, and County Road North 2470, and County Road North 2440, 2450, around this area here. And tornadic circulation, nothing on the ground just yet. Mesocyclone heading right along and south of Highway 412. It's barreling towards Orienta. Josh is here, Fairview. Ross, go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Let's see the other storms that we have north of that. And all these storms are severe warned, by the way. And we have a circulation there, not tornado warned, but it is concerning, coming towards Aileen, Helena, Jet, Vining, all these thunderstorms with the wind, hail, and tornado threat coming right at you. And those storms will keep on moving east and northeast. So these storms are going to move very fast this afternoon and this evening, and that will cut down on our lead time, our warning time for tornadoes. So please keep that in mind. Storms will move at an average of 35 miles an hour. Some may move 40. Some could move as high as 45 or 50. So we're watching those for you, too. And then, again, tornado warning for Major County, stretching into Blaine County. And let's see. Hey, Ross, can we take a look at the big picture, please? I just want everyone to know the setup and what's going on here. So we have Tom Ferguson. We have field meteorologist Mike Williams. He's going to be heading up towards this area. So between now and about 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon, we are expecting these supercells and thunderstorms to form from, let's say, Fairview in Major County, and they're going to keep on forming and tracking eastward into Garfield County, Perry, possibly Payne County, Grant counties. This whole area right here is where we are targeting for tornadoes this afternoon. But as we go into the late afternoon and evening, there's a dry line and a cold front in this area right here. So we are expecting more thunderstorms to line up, let's say, from Watonga, parts of, Kingfisher County, down towards Clinton, Weatherford, Caddo County. Storms will line up here, and then they'll move into Oklahoma City after about 5:30 or 6. Okay, let's get back down on the tornado warned storm, please. And let me take a quick check with the Weather Service. And again, last check and last word from them, any spotters that they have up there, is that we do not have a tornado on the ground at this time, but because of the circulation and the situation, we have to act as if there may be one, because I tell you what, there's a lot of rain around the circulation too. I wouldn't call it rain-wrapped right now, but there's a lot of rain around that mesocyclone, which right now is just a mile or so to the west of Orienta. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 2 to 4 miles to the west of Orienta, heading right towards middle, central Orienta, possibly South Clio Springs, and then it'll be in or near Ringwood after that. So Ringwood, you got about 29 minutes or less to take your tornado precautions, so please head to your safe spot immediately. Get underground if you can. If you can't, remember, lowest level of your home, putting as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Storm is also capable of producing some huge hail. So again, Cheyenne Valley, looks like the circulation is south of you right now, but you folks southeast Cheyenne Valley could easily see up to baseball-sized hail. So 2.5 inches. That's pushing, well, that's a little bit larger than golf balls, pushing tennis balls right now. But that hail core is getting bigger and the storm is getting stronger. That means the hail will get bigger too, and so will the winds, and so will the circulation. That's the trend right now. So hopefully that'll go down or decrease. Let's see, Fairview, you're not out of the woods just yet, but looks like south and southeast Fairview, no longer a threat for this circulation here, but central and north Fairview, just to be on the safe side, because sometimes these circulations will start to head due east, sometimes southeast. They never really dive straight south or west, of course. So Cheyenne Valley, even though you're in that tornado polygon, really no more severe threat for you, central West Cheyenne Valley, just letting you know. But Orienta, okay, you folks are right in the path of this mesocyclone and rotation that could produce a tornado at any moment. All right. Shear rate, Ross, what we got there? Okay, it's about the same. It's a weak to moderate rotation. Still have a rotating wall cloud here. And circulation is near County Road 470, east 470, north 2500. And that circulation is just south, like a mile or so south of Highway 412. And it's coming right for central Orienta. And Ross, zoom in a little bit closer. What's that road that goes from Highway 8? Okay. Yeah, north and south through Orienta, and it almost stops there. Okay, so rotating wall cloud, tornado possible any moment, coming towards Orienta, west and central Orienta, that is. And Josh is still trying to reposition here, but look, he's got a lot of rain to look into. So again, I wouldn't say the circulation is rain wrapped or anything like that, but there's a lot of rain around it. And so you get rain, obviously on the northwest and south sides of that circulation, there usually is. And this is where the hail core usually is too, on the northeast and sometimes southeast sides, depending on how strong that circulation is. Not so much southeast, but right in this area right here. And when you see those blackish colors, we're pushing golf balls to possibly tennis balls or larger with those hailstones. So Orienta, hopefully that wall cloud and that circulation will not produce a tornado, but you're almost for sure going to get some hail. Small to large hail is definitely possible with this storm. And of course, the winds are already strong and gusty all around that circulation too. What's the latest velocity on that look like, Ross? Because I'll tell you, that's really getting disorganized in my opinion. And the National Weather Service just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Blaine and Kingfisher County too. So we'll get down to that in just a second. But this tornado warning continues until 4:15. And this is the severe thunderstorm warning for Blaine County. And it looks like we have a hail core right here near Watonga, up to golf ball sized hail, moving through Watonga, heading towards Omega and Loyal, Parvin, Alpha, all in this severe thunderstorm warning. There's no immediate tornado threat. But again, this afternoon and this evening, if you're in that tornado watch until it expires at 10 o'clock, okay, please plan ahead, be ready to move, and have several ways to get your watches and mornings, because these thunderstorms will keep on lining up near this dry line and warm front. They're going to keep on lining up southward and then likely move into central Oklahoma and Oklahoma City after 5 o'clock. But this is the target area right now for tornadoes, where we have this tornado warning, northwest, north central Oklahoma, near and north of a warm front that we have up here. So we have Tom Ferguson, he's with Steven Anderson. They're heading towards somewhere in between Hennessy and Wacomas, ideally, so they can see the south and southeast sides of this storm. And again, Josh is repositioning there, and he's going to try to look into that rotation that has rain all around that circulation. So there's Josh's stream. And Josh, are you in position yet to give us a good report? I think I see. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, if you can see in my stream right there, there's the wall cloud. There's actually two areas right there, right next to each other. That looks like either one could be a wall cloud right now. The left side has quite a bit of motion on the left side of that lowering there.
Okay.
But that is directly to my west, probably 3 miles.
Gotcha.
But I see nothing on the ground as of right now.
Right, so nothing on the ground. Nothing on the ground, but a lot of motion in this. It's a rotating wall cloud, and that's what prompted the tornado warning in the first place. So I would say that's the main show right there that Josh was looking into, and that circulation that you saw live is in this area right here. So Ross, go ahead and get a little bit closer. Let's pinpoint where, so Josh is here, but he's looking obviously westward into the storm, and it's kind of hard to pick out exactly where that's at. Go ahead and throw a few extra products up there, Ross. That's if that's base velocity, pull up storm relative, please. It'll show us a deeper rotation. That's a little messy, isn't it? And that's probably why Josh is seeing two areas, two lowerings, that is. And we're starting to see some rotation here, some weaker stuff up here. But we were tracking the initial rotation that was coming into Orienta. So this is maybe what Josh was telling us about, lowering here and a lowering there. And neither one of those is producing a funnel just yet. A funnel cloud or, of course, a tornado. Neither of those are happening right now, according to Josh's stream. But it is a rotating wall cloud, and as we know, it does not take long for those rotating wall clouds to possibly produce a funnel that could produce a tornado, and all that stuff could happen in a matter of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes or less. So that's why Josh is there right now. We have Tom Ferguson behind that. So if you live anywhere between, let's just say, because we have two areas of circulation, anywhere between Orienta and Fairview, you are in this tornado warning. If you're in your shelter, please stay there until further notice, and we'll let you know when it's okay to come out. Right now, it's not. If you live in Orienta, in Fairview, anywhere in between, and anywhere east of that. So, Ross, go ahead and put a track on that, on those two circulations right there. And let's see. Well, we know where they're going. Can you use the squall line, please? So it'll cover that whole area. Yeah, and let's go this way, because we're getting several areas of rotation. We want to make sure we're covering both of them. And rotations, especially tornadic circulations, don't really take a direct path. Okay, they wobble around a little bit, but they're coming right at Josh, and that's where he's at. So nothing showed up there in that track, did it?
No, let me do it again here real fast.
Okay, it may not, because you might catch ringwood. And so ringwood, you have 19 minutes to take your tornado precautions, and please do. And get to the lowest level of your home. If you cannot get underground, a bathroom is great if it does not have windows. And of course, so is a hallway closet or a hallway. Let's take a look at Josh's stream. I know it's on the right-hand side of your TV too. So Josh's stream is like right here and then like right behind me too. So he's framing that up. And you can see at least one lowering here. So you look for a rain-free base. But then again, there's a lot of rain around this. So we have one lowering right here, and Josh is saying there's quite a bit of motion. Josh, you have a much clearer shot than I do, so it looks like you're framed right up on that lowering.
Yeah, that lower part on the left side it tries to tighten up, and then it just kind of dissipates really quick. It's done it 3 or 4 times in the last 45 seconds. Doesn't have everything it needs to quite yet.
Okay, that's good news. And thanks for being right there, Josh, because if there was anything on the ground, if this tornado warned storm was going to produce a tornado, it would be right where Josh is at. Well, not right where he's at, west of his location and right where he's looking into. And the storm really, when you're looking at radar, it really does look messy. You don't really see a well-defined area of inflow. If I had to pick out one, it'd be like right here and like maybe right here. And also when you look at the velocity, let's go ahead and take a look at that product, please, Ross. Okay, or how about shear rate too, because it's not pinpointing an area of significant rotation. And that's a problem sometimes when you're looking at Doppler radar. As reliable as it is, there's nothing more reliable than having eyes on the ground. And that's why we have Josh there pointed right at that, because otherwise if I looked at that storm and didn't know what was happening from Josh's perspective, I would think there's no immediate tornado threat, but there actually is. Hey, Ross, go back to reflectivity for a second. What was that? Go down south a little bit. Okay, never mind. I thought I saw something looking a little hooky right there. Okay, you know what it was? It was on the shear rate product. Go back to shear rate, please, because it looks like we may have another rotation south of Fairview. So you saw that huge cluster of storms, so let's hit, right there. So what is, let's compare that with reflectivity and velocity, please. Okay, so we got one. Okay, we got a rotation right here. Okay, it's pretty tight too. It's not real strong, but a mile or two south of Fairview. You folks, make sure you're not in your tornado shelter, but make sure you're in a strong building and ready to head to your safe spot if necessary, because that's getting a little bit tighter and a little bit stronger. Also, what we just found out is that when we do analysis in this whole area up here, these storms, this big cluster that we have, moving through northwest Oklahoma, as it moves eastward into Blaine County, eventually Canadian County, and east major counties, those rotations will likely strengthen. Okay, they're moving into an area that's very favorable for rotation. That's why you're seeing that storm get stronger. This cluster here is not getting any weaker. If anything, it's intensifying. And so from Fairview in this tornado polygon all the way up towards Orienta, we have several areas of rotation. Okay, when you have one big cluster like that, you can have one or two, maybe three mesocyclones easy, especially in this situation here. Okay, and this is Oklahoma in May, so things are not always textbook. So we just go with what we see, and we go with what our storm chasers are saying. So let's go ahead and find the rotation on that, Ross. What's producing that big hail core right here? And it's a little messy rotation, not real organized just yet, and that's good, but it's organized enough, of course, to produce that strong updraft that's producing, it looks like quite a bit of hail. Yeah. Reflectivity, Ross, is producing a huge hail core up towards Hitchcock, and that's coming right at Omega and Loyal, and you folks only have a few minutes, I'd say, maybe 10 or 15 at the most? I don't know why that didn't come up. But Omega, what I was trying to say was you only got a few minutes to make sure you are in a safe shelter. Again, not a tornado shelter, but make sure you are sheltered inside and away from the windows, because this storm could produce at least golf ball sized hail, larger than golf balls, because the potential for hailstones and the sizes this afternoon and this evening could be up to baseballs. Some could produce softball sized hail. So that's how we want to act, is if these thunderstorms, or when those thunderstorms move into your neighborhood, they're all going to have a huge hail, damaging wind, and tornado threat. And I mean almost every thunderstorm that comes into your neighborhood. Now, not every thunderstorm will produce all modes, but the potential is there. And that's what we have to plan for. And that's what we have to really, plan our evening around. That's a brand new tornado warning.
They just issued this.
Okay. Thanks, Ross. So this is a tornado warning now for Blaine and Kingfisher County until 4:45. The location of the circulation was about 5 miles south of Hitchcock, moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. And I believe we have field meteorologist Mike Williams. He's not really close to this area, but I think he can get here pretty quickly. So, Ross, go ahead, and before we leave this area, let's go ahead and track that. So it's moving northeast at 20, and the strongest rotation right now is on the east sides of Watonga. So east Watonga, please make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. And Loyal and Omega, okay, you folks also make sure you are in your safe spot. And that is underground, or the lowest level of your home, bathroom, closet, hallway, something on the lowest level away from the windows, please. Okay, so Loyal, you have less than 20 minutes, even though that did not come up on that storm track. Omega, you have, I'd say, 10 minutes or less. Let's say 5 minutes or less to take your tornado precautions. Even though the rotation is moving this way, which is right here, okay, just about a mile or two from the center of Watonga, a lot of hail. So Omega, you'll get small hail. Loyal, you'll get much bigger hail, which is this right here. So golf ball to possibly baseball-sized hail in Loyal and North Omega before that mesocyclone and that circulation hits your neighborhood. So, and after that, Oneida and Parvin. Okay, so Ross, reflectivity, please. Let's go back up to the other tornado warning that we have. And that's moving through Major County, heading towards Garfield County. And there's Josh. We want to take Josh's stream because it looks like we had several areas of rotation. And Josh, we have your stream. What's the latest?
Nothing has changed. There's nothing really as interesting as it was the last time he talked to me. I'm just repositioning again because there's a road I can take that'll just kind of go east and then north, so that way I can just kind of flank the storm and stay with it so I can keep a view for you.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Back to the radar. And then again, I see two areas of rotation just to Josh's west. So most of Fairview right now, especially on the west side, no tornado threat, no immediate tornado threat. But go back to that last product, Ross. So it looks like we have a weak circulation here south of Fairview. And that's where Josh is looking into, yeah, right here. And that's where we showed a very strong updraft on the reflectivity. So we have a circulation near County Road 2570, north 2580. North 2580 extends south, of course. And then I can't even read those. Can you get a little bit closer to that, Ross? Those county roads there. And Isabella, you were in the path of that. And again, that's South County Road 259, which is right here. Okay, circulation possibly could produce a tornado at any moment that's coming towards Isabella and then possibly Ringwood. So you folks here in this area still in that tornado warning. And this is not even the original circulation. It is north of that and actually north and east of that. So we got a strong circulation here in the Isabella area. And we also have that's still a pretty decent updraft that we have there, and we're watching that closely. So we're watching several areas of rotation in this big storm. Josh is closest to the more significant one, which is right there in and around Isabella, and that will continue to move towards the central and south sides of Ringwood. Okay, big picture, or bigger picture, Ross. Let's see what we have north of that. This is still not a tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning. Helena, Jet, and up to the Kansas border. Okay, this storm is also moving quickly east and northeast. Severe thunderstorm warned, but there is an area of rotation. We're watching that. We have another tornado warning just south of Major County. Okay, and again, this tornado warning is the newest one. It came out about 5 minutes ago. This includes Blaine County and Kingfisher County. So you can see the tornado polygon, and it goes and extends into North Kingfisher, and it stops on the west sides of Hennessy. So you folks here, Ross, let's go ahead and put a track on this, please. And use the squall line too, and because we want to make sure that we catch this rotation, and to include the hail too, because again, the circulation can easily jog a little bit north or south of where it's moving towards right now. So we want to make sure we cover that whole tornado warning. And nothing coming up?
Yeah, nothing coming up on these tracks.
What's up with that? Okay.
About 30 miles an hour or a little less than that?
Go a little bit faster. Let's go to, let's do that.
Yeah, still not.
All right, whatever. Okay, so Parvin and Alpha and Loyal in this area here, the circulation is back to the west of this big hail core right here. So the circulation is right about there. So it's about 2 or 3 miles east of Watonga, and it's coming right towards Omega and Loyal and the Parvin area. So this area right here for sure going to get at least small hail and strong damaging winds. Okay, that's the least that you'll get. If that circulation stays intact and keeps on moving eastward too, that tornado threat will continue. And it extends into, because here's the Blaine County and the Kingfisher County line right there, right here. Okay, so circulation capable of producing a tornado. Let's get a little bit closer, Ross. Let's get these county roads. County Road East 780, 790, East 800, and East 820. A little bit closer, Ross. What are these north-south county roads there? They should pop up or not. Okay. So in this area right here, you folks, please make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. And zoom out a little bit more, Ross. This is, so Watonga, you're clear of the tornado threat right now, but Omega, Loyal, Oneida, Alpha, Parvin, make sure you're taking your tornado precautions right now. And again, if this stays intact, it's coming towards Jax and Dover, more central Kingfisher County. And don't forget, I mean, this path, that possible tornadic circulation could easily wobble and drift a little bit farther south. So you folks in Kingfisher, you're just outside that tornado polygon. But if a new tornado warning is issued and the track shifts just slightly south, Kingfisher, you will be in that. So if you're in the Kingfisher area right now, I would say make sure you are in or heading towards a sturdy shelter, just in case. But everybody else, Loyal, Alpha, Oneida, Parvin, Hennessy, Jax, Dover, you folks make sure you are taking your tornado precautions. Ross?
Hey, Jeff. Yeah, I'm going to...
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'll wait till you get over here. But
Okay.
I want to make sure that we got everything covered here as far as the velocity. And I want to show the shear rate, too, because that's really a really important part of our coverage. So let me go ahead and get that pulled up, too. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff's going to switch out his batteries here quick for a second. So again, closest or really tightest rotation going to be just to the west there of Omega. So if you do live in the Watonga area, you are now clear for the time being. But if you live in the Omega area, Alpha, Loyal, Dover, this is now when you're going to want to be taking your tornado precautions. Either go to your underground shelter, your basement, or the innermost place in your home. Either an inner closet, a bathroom, an inner hallway. You want to put as many walls in between you and the outside as you can. So any of those really strong gusty winds have to go through several layers of walls before they get anywhere close to you. We had some of those velocities up there for the wind speeds, anywhere from 50 upwards of 78 mile per hour wind speeds just to really the west and southwest there in the Omega area. And again, this is moving to the east-northeast, just really to the north probably, or central north side of Omega, and then up towards the Loyal area. So Jeff, going to put a track on this right now, not really popping up. If you do live in the Omega area, I mean, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately right now. That tightest area of location is pretty much just off to your west. Big hail core there. You're going to see tons of rain, some pretty large hailstones as well. We got Tom Ferguson's stream up right now. He is headed towards that storm just to the east of Watonga now. Tom, we got your stream up. Are you seeing anything down there?
So, hey there, we are headed south on 81 just north of Dover, and we're keeping an eye on the situation right now, keeping a check on radar, not seeing anything major to report at this point, however.
All right, hey, thanks, Tom. Yeah, we'll check back in with you once you get a little bit closer to that hail core and also really that tightest area of rotation, just, again, to the west side of the Omega area. Again, most of this rain and hail, though, moving really straight towards the Loyal area. So even if you don't get in on some of those really strong winds that are just to the west of Omega, you're definitely going to be getting in on some very, very heavy rain here soon, and also some pretty large hail, probably anywhere from about 1 to 2 inches. That's not the only tornado warning we have, though. Another one, that is where Josh is on. A couple areas of rotation there right around the Isabella area. Ringwood, also some slight rotation, but I think tightest area here is going to be just to the northwest of Isabella, and we got Fox 25 tracker Josh Lassiter on that. Can we bring up Josh's stream? Josh, we're going to you live right now. Where are you at? What are you seeing? I mean, obviously you're getting a ton of rain. It might be a little bit hard to see any lowerings that might be happening there, Josh.
I am to the east of Isabella, almost straight east, and looking back over my shoulder, there's a couple areas of lowering, nothing very substantial right now, but there is a couple interesting areas right now. But I don't see anything imminent at any time soon with it. Back to you.
Thank you, Josh. We're going to leave your stream up here for just a second. And the latest from the National Weather Service, this just came out like about 30 seconds ago, but they're verifying just exactly what we're seeing on radar and what Josh is mentioning too. So the strongest rotation in that, not that cell, not that supercell, but the one that's to the south of that, that would be southeast of Hitchcock, moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. That tornado warning, or that storm that was tornado warned that Josh is on, let's see, no, you know what? This is the one that got canceled. Okay. I'm sorry. The
one that Tom is headed to, I think, just got canceled.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and zoom out, please. So there's Tom Ferguson right here. And honestly, I thought this rotation was getting stronger, judging by radar. But we do have storm spotters on this too, and that's where the truth comes in. What the spotters are seeing, Doppler radar is great, but again, it's just a tool. That's why we have our trackers out there too. So the tornado warning was canceled, okay, because the circulation did weaken, and the latest. I'd say the last place we saw the strongest rotation was near Omega, just east of Watonga, heading towards Loyal. So right here, we still have a very weak rotation, and that could intensify and really get going again like it was before. It's not doing that right now. The trend is it's a weakening trend, and that's exactly what we want to see. Now, it may not stay that way, and it's still a significant rotation, okay? And that's in Omega, heading towards Loyal and Oneida. So again, you folks, I mean, you don't have to be underground or, in the bathtub, covered all up anymore. But I would say, please just, pay attention here and stay with Fox 25. If this tornado warning gets reissued and that circulation gets stronger and reestablishes itself, we'll go ahead and let you know. But at the very least, that storm's going to produce some pretty big hail, at least golf balls. This tornado warning continues. This is where Josh is at right now. And that strongest rotation is on the north and east sides of Isabella, moving east-northeast at about 20 to 30 miles an hour. So Josh, his stream is behind me right now, but it doesn't look like he has anything. We'll talk to Josh here in just a second because it looks like he should be getting a better view of the base of the clouds there. And this storm has a history of producing several rotating wall clouds and lowerings. It has a history of that, but not a tornado just yet. So it's a very scary thunderstorm. It's a very scary looking one. And as of right now, we still have an immediate tornado threat until that tornado warning is canceled. And this circulation has been cycling, meaning that it weakens and then gets stronger. It kind of goes back and forth between radar scans. But still, you folks in Isabella, if you're in your shelter, please stay there until further notice. Crystal Lakes, Ames, okay, that rotation is coming right at you. The rotation, by the way, that has a history of producing rotating wall clouds. So far, nothing more than that. But like we've been talking about, a rotating wall cloud can produce a tornado in a matter of seconds.
It's really a broad area of rotation, too. It's not very tight. And if there are, multiple lowerings, it's also probably going to be pretty hard to see, especially with the amount of rain that's in this area. There's not really a whole lot of great inflow based off of reflectivity either. So any of those lowerings probably going to be rain wrapped. Going to be pretty difficult to see if you are trying to peek out and, see what this storm is trying to produce right here.
Yeah, you know what? Go back down to that south storm, please, Ross. The one that's severe warned, the one that used to be tornado warned. And we're getting reports from trackers down here that it has a funnel still. And it has a rotating wall cloud. Now, according to the National Weather Service, it doesn't have an immediate tornado threat. But that has to be watched really closely. So you folks in Loyal and Oneida, just north of Alpha, you folks you still have a dangerous thunderstorm. So Tom Ferguson is right here. Let's go to Tom's stream and see if you can see anywhere into the base of that cloud. So we're looking for the rain-free base, and it's off in the distance. So that's the storm that they're tracking towards right now. Okay. Back to the radar, please. And Tom is going to go ahead and keep on tracking that for us. Now, hopefully, it'll do nothing more than this. Just produce a lot of rain, some hail, and some wind. Hail and wind are not ideal, but of course, this has a history of a very significant circulation that was really close to producing a tornado. And I'm not just saying that. That came right from the National Weather Service chat. That storm came close to producing a tornado. I'm reading it word for word right around 5 minutes ago.
And I mean, based off of, radar here, we're seeing winds anywhere from 60 upwards to 70 miles per hour on the backside of this, where that area of tightest rotation is at.
Yes, the rear flank of that storm, that's where the winds hit the back of the storm and hit the ground, and those winds spread out, and they feed that updraft. So if that's intensifying, there's a good chance that that updraft is getting stronger and deeper, too. Again, it's still a very deep rotation, and that's coming towards Loyal. Okay, and right now, the main threats are wind and hail, but there's still a tornado threat. Okay, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 miles southwest of Loyal, coming right at you. So you folks in Loyal, just please stay sheltered until further notice, and we'll let you know what's going on with this thing. Wouldn't be surprised if they reissue that tornado warning. And this tornado warning up here that we've been tracking for almost 45 minutes, over 40 minutes, is going to expire in about 3 minutes unless they reissue it. So let's see what's up with the rotation, Ross. Go ahead and let's see, velocity, it's a much broader rotation right now, and if you ask me, it has weakened. So Josh, the stream, will tell us that whole story. And Josh, the radar is telling us one thing. It looks like the storm is weakening, but you tell us what's really happening.
Yeah, I haven't seen nothing too crazy. I mean, as you can see in my view right there, there's an area of lowering there, and there's also one just right there to my west. But both areas, just a few minutes ago, this area here kind of tightened up and came down, but then about 15 seconds later, it went away. And this is all about 4 miles to my west.
Okay. So really nothing has changed, huh?
No, nothing really at all. Just kind of has areas that kind of tighten up for a few seconds, and they go away.
Yeah. Thanks, Josh. And that's kind of what we were talking about the past 40 minutes or so. The storm is cycling, so it'll tighten up, it'll loosen up, it'll tighten up and produce a wall cloud, a lowering, and a rotating wall cloud. Then it'll loosen up a little bit. Then you just have maybe a much smaller wall cloud, but it's still there, the rotation and the wall cloud, and so is Josh. So we're going to watch that real closely. And the Weather Service has less than 2 minutes to decide what to do with that. What's that, Ross?
We're going to head over to Tom Ferguson back down there towards that storm just to the north of Omega. They got a nice shot there.
Yeah. Okay. So there's your rain-free base. This is classic. And there's your wall cloud. Okay, this is the back of the storm, and this is what Ross was highlighting right here. So the winds from the rear flank hit the ground, and they spread out. So these are 70-mile-an-hour winds, around 70-mile-an-hour winds, feeding that updraft. And this is the wind, this is the hail, and the rain. So this is the forward flank, and this is where the winds really increase in this area too. So the rain and the hail hit the ground, and that feeds this storm into that updraft. So you get winds coming from both sides, shooting right up into the updraft, and that's what makes it get deeper. That's what makes it rotate, and that's what makes it lower too. Now, if we were going to see a funnel, it would be somewhere in here. So let's go ahead and get Tom on the phone. I believe he's there. So Tom, we have your shot. What's it look like now? Is that rotating or what?
Jeff, we are headed south on 81, 4 miles north of Kingfisher, and we are seeing a rotating wall cloud at this moment.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. And I'm just trying to confirm a report here from the Weather Service. They are also, they got a visible shot of a funnel, and that's all we have right now. Okay, I just wanted to make sure there was nothing on the ground. I wanted to make sure they're not reporting anything, because even though Tom's right here, sometimes, if it's a really thin, what we call a rope tornado sometimes, you can't really see it unless you do what's going on right there, zooming up really, really close. So you can see some motion in here. It's a lowering, it's a rotating wall cloud, and that is really, really close to the ground. I mean, the lowering itself. So we're looking for visible signs of a funnel. We don't see any just yet. Looks like something's trying, though, isn't it? So right now, it's just a ragged cloud base. Okay, these look like funnels, but this is just ragged, the ragged lower part of this storm right here. And you can see it spinning. Okay, so that's going to produce a funnel. And hopefully not a tornado, but, you know, if a condensation funnel was going to come out of that storm, it's going to be somewhere from here to here. Well, here to here. So we're looking for this area. It's the rain-free base. And that's where we see that rotating wall cloud that we have a full picture of right now.
And again, this is just to the north now of Omega.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I made that noise because the rotation is increasing quite a bit. The Weather Service still has not tornado warned this yet. Has not warned it again, anyway.
Tornado warning now
Is it coming out?
until 5 p.m.
Okay, so brand new tornado warning. And this is for Blaine and Kingfisher County.
And this is a confirmed tornado as well.
Okay.
So they're saying there is one on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, they're saying there is or there was. Regardless, doesn't matter.
Tornado 6 miles west of Loyal, moving northeast at 10 miles per hour.
Okay. So once again, we have a tornado on the ground, 6 miles west of Loyal, moving northeast at only about 10 miles an hour. Okay, so let's see. Well, it says tornado was located. Okay, so we had a rope tornado that was on the ground briefly about 6 miles west of Loyal. Okay, let's go back to Tom's stream, please, and see if that's back on the ground again. And Tom, you know, we see what may be the first signs of, or the second signs of a funnel forming. What do you see?
Right now, we're seeing that wall cloud blow. It's harder to tell anything beyond that at this time, but it is definitely getting pretty low here.
Okay, thanks, Tom. So I would call that a funnel cloud. Okay, and it's really, really close to the ground right there. This storm has had history of producing a rope tornado, okay, just a few minutes ago. Let's go back to the radar and let's go ahead and see exactly where this is at, Ross, and let's warn everyone. So this circulation, we got a wall cloud that has a history, a funnel cloud, and that has touched down before. Okay, so this storm has a history of producing a tornado. It's coming close to producing another one. That's near County Road East 750, North 2720, East 740, and that's coming towards North 2740 and East 750. This is Loyal. So this is on the west or southwest sides of Loyal, moving east. I keep on doing this. It's actually moving eastward at 20 miles an hour. So it looks like it'll catch at least the south sides of Loyal, north of Alpha. We have a funnel cloud, and that rotation has a history of producing a tornado. Okay. Let's go back to Tom's stream, please. See what we got. Okay, it looks like it's gotten a little more disorganized, a little more ragged. But look at that. You can see that motion right there. Okay, and that's just where we showed you on the radar.
Yeah, it looks like it keeps trying to. Multiple kind of lowerings there, but it doesn't really seem to, like you said, organize very much at all. It starts to go a little bit and then kind of breaks right back apart.
Yeah, it really wants to do something, but thank goodness it's not, right? So there's not enough organization in this yet. So, you know, we're getting good inflow from the east, south, and west, but not enough just yet to produce a tornado. Let's hope it just, at worst case, stays this way. I mean, we're okay with lowerings and funnels as long as that funnel doesn't touch the ground. Let's zoom out, please, Ross. And let's put the velocity back on there if you don't have it up there just yet. Okay, if that's base velocity, let's go to storm relative. Now we'll look a little bit deeper into the storm. It looks the same, huh?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay, so that tells a story too. So when we saw Tom's stream just a few minutes ago, we had a visible funnel that was pretty close to the ground, and you had bright green and a red blotch right next to each other. So we call that gate-to-gate shear. So we had a red return, we had a bright green return, and that's why there was a funnel. And then we went back to Tom's stream, and that base was much more ragged and disorganized, and that looks like exactly what's happening on the radar too. Okay, but we are still watching this storm really, really closely. And please, if you live central, south, Loyal, take your tornado precautions right now. If you haven't yet, if you're in your shelter, underground, if you're in your bathtub or hallway or a closet, just stay there, okay? Stay there until further notice, because this tornado warning goes until, what, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock, yes.
Okay. Okay, you folks, please just keep taking your tornado precautions, because this storm has a history of producing a tornado. It has a history of producing a cycling circulation, meaning that it gets stronger, it'll tighten up, then it'll loosen up. The threat is real, and it's still there. 2 miles southwest of Loyal, it'll come across the central and south sides of Loyal. And that's Tom's stream right there. It's a great shot. He's locked in right there. And let's talk to Tom. I want to make sure I don't see anything on the ground. Tom, can you confirm that, please?
Jeff, that's what it looks like here. Can't confirm anything touching the ground, but definitely keeping an eye.
Tom, back to the radar. So there is a definite circulation there. So we call that a rotating wall cloud that has a history of producing a funnel really close to the ground, a rather large funnel, actually. And it initially produced a rope tornado before it weakened. And so now we have the circulation 1, 2, 3 miles to the southwest of Loyal. It'll come across County Road North 2740, County Road East 750. So again, Loyal, please just make sure you're in your closet, hallway, without windows, or underground. So if you cannot get underground, it's okay, as long as you can get to the lowest level, the most interior part of a sturdy building. That'll keep you very safe in this situation. All right, so the rotation is still there. And so this is where we're looking at right here. This is where the funnel, the rotating wall cloud is at, that did produce a funnel and that did produce a tornado less than 10 minutes ago. It's a very broad rotation and it's deep. And the storm is also capable of producing some very large hail. Ross, I kind of lost track of the other tornado warned storm
Yeah, sure,
that was
let's go
north
back
of
up.
that. So that was allowed to expire.
It's expired.
Okay, good. But this line here is still very dangerous. Okay, this is where Josh is at right now. So we had a tornado warning for Major County for like 45 minutes because it started on the west side of the county, and it took up almost all of Major County, and it's not even out of the county just yet. Okay, it's going right into Garfield County, that line of storms, and the severe thunderstorm warning is extending into Garfield.